Ava Kris Tyson just set back the trans community so far.
These are the very serious allegations against Ava Kris Tyson from mrbeast. Now, there's a lot to this, so just buckle up and let me explain what all is going on.
Kris Tyson from mrbeast channel has to be one of the most twisted and disgusting people on YouTube at the moment. From knowingly sharing photos of Jennette McCurdy to saying extremely inappropriate things about Bhad Bhabie when she was very young, Kris Tyson just keeps shocking everyone in the worst possible way. And that's not even mentioning the fact that he was joking with some young person about selling inappropriate photos of herself when the person was just 13. And you know the worst thing about this whole thing? Former members of mrbeast's crew are now coming out to say that mrbeast was fully aware of the disgusting things Kris was doing. Y'all, just when you think that this drama can't get any worse, more horrific details about the disgusting things Kris has done have come out. Luvs, join me today as we look at some of the new shocking details that might lead to the end of Kris Tyson and mrbeast's career.
Many years your senior. It's really interesting because this is one of the most clear-cut cases of grooming by a social media figure and nobody's reacting to it.
So unless you have been living under a rock, you have definitely heard about the shocking things that Kris Tyson has been accused of doing. Now, we all know Kris. We have watched him countless times on mrbeast's channel, and he has always appeared to be a stand-up funny person. But boy, were we wrong. After a series of shocking and downright jaw-dropping allegations with evidence that were leveled against him, I don't know if we can view him in the same light ever again. Now, it all started when a YouTuber called Prism42 dropped a series of videos throwing serious allegations against Kris Tyson for some NSFW things he has been doing for a long time. Now, this drama spans a series of years, and with each passing year, it seems that Kris just got worse and worse. Allegedly, for a long time now, Kris has had a strong addiction to a certain type of inappropriate art that starts with an L. Given the sensitive nature of this video, we'll call it L art. Now, in this category of art, you can tell that in the first place, basically L art usually depicts images of young people in very inappropriate and suggestive manners. This type of art is highly controversial, so much so that I can't even mention its name here. Y'all, given the creepy and controversial manner of this art, it's no surprise that people who like it are creeps themselves. And the biggest creep of them all had to be a guy named Shad Mon. You see, Shad Mon was a disgusting guy. The biggest creep you could ever imagine, and he was a guy who loved making L art, and he believed he had the right to create L word art about anyone he wanted, and their age didn't matter. Luvs, Shad Man once went as far as drawing L art of Keemstar's daughter, who was just 8 at the time. Now, coincidentally, Kris was a huge fan of Shad Man, often going out of his way and using his platform to show his love and support for Shad Man. Kris's love for Shad Man didn't stop there. He even went and bought L art from Shad Man and hung it in a room that he was sharing with mrbeast at the time. If that wasn't enough, Kris would take to his Twitter account and brag about the lewd art he had gotten from Shad Man. Y'all, the picture could be seen once hanging in a mrbeast video from the wall. Luvs, little did we know that this was just the beginning. And it didn't stop there. Old tweets have now resurfaced showing Kris engaging with some completely disgusting images of Mabel and Dipper from Gravity Falls doing some unspeakable things. Now, when Kris got called out for this, he replied by saying that since Mabel and Dipper were twins, what they were doing in the picture was like a person touching themselves. He didn't use those exact words, but I can't bring myself to use the exact words Kris used, and this was far from the creepiest things that Kris has done. Sneeko, who used to be in the mrbeast crew around the time Kris was infatuated with Shad Man, has now come out to reveal that one time when they were hanging around, Kris made some inappropriate comments about Bhad Bhabie.
When I was working for mrbeast, like in that time at 2017, 2018, I remember Kris saying like, isn't she hot? Isn't like Cash Me Outside girl shit? Like, isn't she like 14? Is she 14 years old? Yeah, it's jailbait. And I'm like, what? I had never heard somebody say that in my life. That was the first time where somebody unironically said that.
At first, Sneeko was so shocked that he thought Kris was just making some sick, twisted joke, but he quickly realized that she wasn't. And such creepy and disgusting behavior was something he did often. I found an old video of Kris knowingly telling people to use a link he had purposely put up so that they could see photos of Jennette McCurdy that were leaked by her ex-boyfriend. Kris even had the audacity to encourage people to do it fast because he knew since Jennette was a Nickelodeon star, star, Nickelodeon would do everything in their power to have those photos taken down quickly.
How's it going, you guys? So recently everybody's been hearing about the Jennette McCurdy leak of her photo. What the story is, she sent pictures to her boyfriend, her now ex-boyfriend, and he leaked them out. And she is a very popular Nickelodeon star on the show iCarly, and probably be seen as the pulling of the show. It'll probably be taken off the air. Second off, you'll probably see the photos get taken down at some point tonight, maybe tomorrow, because Nickelodeon has that kind of power. But the link's in the description if you want to see them. I mean, I'm not endorsing people to go look at somebody else's private business, but I know that you know, people might want to see them, so it's there if you want it.
Now, the thing that has really made the internet turn on Kris was the recent video done by Prism telling how Kris began having inappropriate conversations with a young man while they were still in middle school. Now, the person in question goes by the name of Lava and was a huge MrBeast fan, and this allegedly was Kris's way in. Back in March 2018, Kris contacted Lava and offered to give Lava moderator privileges for one of his streaming sessions. Kris was 21 at the time and had a 7-year age gap to Lava, so that should tell you Lava's age. It seemed that Lava and Kris, who was 21 remember, had a lot of conversations together because just 2 months later, another tweet showed Kris taking to Twitter to say that if he reached his Patreon goal, he would release photos of himself. To which Lava responded by telling Kris that he was her first Patreon and sent Kris a $1 donation, which prompted Kris to joke with Lava about not sending a $5 donation instead. Now, Kris said that he would post photos of himself if people donated, and after Lava donated, Kris messaged him again saying, "I posted some fire lewds for you, please no share." Now, it's unclear if Kris actually sent the pics to Lava, who was in middle school, I must remind you, but whether he sent it or not, he shouldn't be having that conversation with Lava to begin with. But it seems Kris didn't see the disgusting nature of his conversations with Lava because he continued texting Lava often, even moving their conversation to Snapchat, where in 2019, Kris would send Lava a snap with one of the most disgusting captions given who Kris is talking to. Y'all, Lava and Kris's inappropriate behavior would continue, which no person would think is appropriate. Their conversations, especially on Snapchat, seem to be racier than the rest because in one instance, Lava sent a picture of a banana to Kris asking him to practice with it. We all know what Lava was implying, and the fact that this was almost the 3rd year that this type of conversation was going on is basically shocking. Lava and Kris continued to be in contact with each other, leading to Lava even appearing in one of MrBeast's Minecraft videos. But wait, this thing gets worse. Screenshots from a 2020 Discord server allegedly run by Carl, also from MrBeast's crew, show Lava saying that he was buying a camper van and he was going to use it to drive to North Carolina, where MrBeast and his team are located. And once he got there, Lava said he would drive into the woods, allegedly to meet Carl and Kris. Shortly after that, Lava shared photos of him with Carl and Kris together. Now, naturally, once the news of Kris's creepy allegations started going viral, the internet started going wild. Just take a look at some of these comments. People who are defending this creep, we should call the FBI on them as well. Say, Kris, I hear you like young. Moment. Imagine being MrBeast and realizing that the person you gave the most money ended up doing this. The fact that all these disgusting messages were exchanged on public Twitter threads can only make me imagine what Kris was doing with this guy in private messages. My God. Kris Tyson just wiped his Twitter. An innocent man wouldn't do that. I honestly feel bad for MrBeast. Imagine seeing the person who's been your best friend for this whole journey getting outed as a creep. Unbelievable. I hope this isn't true. Now, since the allegations have come out, Lava, who is about 20 now, has come out to deny that anything inappropriate ever happened between him and Kris. And when he went to meet up with Kris, his family was also present. I didn't take a camper van to meet up with Kris. I was on vacation with my family and stopped by with my family present and said hi. Why are you guys making up lies? Now, in the midst of this drama, a lot of people who were understandably shocked by these allegations were struggling to believe that Kris was capable of doing such things. They even began defending him, saying that all this hate Kris was receiving was because she was trans, but Keemstar, whose daughter had L art drawn by the creepy guy and Kris's friend shot Shad Man came out and told people the allegations being brought up against Kris were not false. Kris Tyson supported the cartoon CP artist Shad Man that drew my daughter. This is a known fact. Privately, me and Kris Tyson even had a conversation about this roughly a month ago. As it still upsets me, this is not misinformation, this is a fact. Luvs, this seemed to start a whole new level of drama because former members of MrBeast's crew started coming out saying all the times that MrBeast was allegedly aware of Kris's creepy ways. Jake, a former member of MrBeast's crew, took it further and alleged that there was another young person that Kris was talking to. While we're at it, Kris should tell everyone how old the girl was he was snapping that sent him his first ever pair of Gucci slides. Because of that, people started digging around and surprise, surprise, the alleged girl was quickly found. Now, because of this, people started distancing themselves from Kris and even going as far as demanding MrBeast distance himself from Kris. LGBTQ organizations even went as far as demanding Kris be removed completely from MrBeast's videos. They even released a statement denouncing Kris, which read, "Kris Tyson is one of the last people who should be praised as our representative. Parents should be concerned that this type of material is being shown to children on a daily basis." Now, amidst all these drama, there has been a lot of information that has been going around about Kris and about Lava. Now, most of this is just allegations and it's difficult to come up with concrete proof. So Lava took it upon himself to issue a statement reiterating this. "These videos are massive lies and twisting the truth. Ava, Kris never did anything wrong and just made a few edgy jokes. I was never taken advantage of. Can you do me a favor and comment on these videos and tell them to stop spreading lies? This situation takes away from young people who are actively being exploited every day online. I am not a victim of anything being claimed in these videos or at all." Now, what do y'all think about the allegations that have been brought up against Kris? Do you think MrBeast should come out and publicly distance himself from Kris? Let me know your opinions in the comments down below, and don't forget to check out my previous videos to ensure you're up to date with all the latest tea. Till next time, bye love!